Welcome to the Electric Playground. I'm in London, England, as you can probably tell. And today on this show, we've got a new story on Minecraft Story Mode in the Rundown.
Plus, I joined the hunt with Master Chief with a new look at Halo 5 Guardians.
And then Ben and Jose join everyone as they go to the Rapture. Also coming up, we fight the war on drugs with the intense new movie Sicario. We continue counting down to The Force Awakens with a new Star Wars memory, and much more today on EP Daily. Brought to you by EB Games. I'm your host, Victor Lucas, bringing you the latest in everything cool every single day, and I've spent all day building something very cool for you. It's called The Rundown. The Minecraft universe is about to expand in a whole new way. The first installment of the episodic game Minecraft Story Mode will land on October 13th. It tells an original story in the Minecraft world, focusing on a new hero named Jesse, voiced by Patton Oswalt, who embarks on a perilous journey to save their world from oblivion. Story Mode is a collaboration between Minecraft developer Mojang and Telltale Games, the same studio behind countless episodic hits like The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, and others. This will also be the first big Minecraft release since Mojang was bought by Microsoft last year. This isn't the only new game coming from the Minecraft universe. Microsoft is developing a new version of the game for its HoloLens heads-up display, which looks pretty darn cool, to say the least. Expect that in the next year or so. And speaking of head-mounted technology, Sony is one step closer to entering a world of virtual reality. Their long-awaited VR headset Project Morpheus has been renamed PlayStation VR, which firmly cements it as part of their PlayStation family. Several new games have also been announced for the device, including Final Fantasy XV. We still don't have a firm release date for Project Morpheus, PlayStation VR. It's slated to roll out sometime early next year, along with rival VR headsets like the Oculus Rift and HTC Vive. The biggest question is how much all of these VR headsets will cost. No one has announced a price, but analysts are predicting that they could cost anywhere between $200 and $600. Some major moving and shaking going on in the video game industry. Here's my pal Marissa Roberto to talk about that. Let's talk about Minecraft, the story mode.
Yeah.
First of all,
let's talk about Minecraft. My experience with Minecraft has not been a good one. It has not been a good journey for me in Minecraft. And I think it's because there's no story there.
Well, here's the thing now, though. Minecraft, with the story mode, can kind of set the tone and the direction, and you are following the rules, so to speak, on a predetermined adventure. Yes, you have some freedom, but...
Sure, so you know what? You're right. I actually would really enjoy this now.
Yeah.
There's a reason. It gives me a reason to actually enjoy the idea of playing a Minecraft game, even though it's not really Minecraft, it's a Telltale game.
The thing that I thought about with this franchise is that because people are so busy building and also watching what's being built, it is the virtual Lego. I mean, that's the analogy, that's the comparison. It's never going to go away, and it's just going to be reinterpreted in millions of interesting new ways like this. Now, VR seems to be being interpreted in millions of different ways these days. What do you think of PlayStation VR? That's the name of it. It's not Morpheus anymore. Now with Vive, Oculus Rift, and PlayStation VR.
Well, you can't have them all. You got to choose one, and obviously you're going to choose
It's another console war, isn't it?
It is, but you're going to choose the one just like you choose the operating system, the phone. You want to choose the same operating system for your PC or your Mac at home. You're going to do the same thing with the Oculus, or the same thing with whatever VR you choose. If you have an Xbox and you play on Xbox a lot, you're going to go with Oculus. If you are a PlayStation fanboy, obviously you're going to go with the PlayStation VR.
It's crazy.
You're having a tough time with this, I can tell, because you don't want to pick sides.
VR is still something that you need to experience, so how do you do that before you pick a side?
It's basically just going to come down to which console you enjoy watching porn on more.
You think? All right, well, let's talk about something that's a little more attainable, a little bit more within reach. Halo 5 is almost here. Marissa got a good look.
0631 this morning. Master Chief was declared absent without leave.
Halo fans, rejoice! We have a Halo 5 coming at us, but with a new Halo comes a new story. So can we dive into the story a little bit here, Tim? Tell me what this one's all about.
So this one follows the saga of Master Chief, continuing. There's some mystery involved. And so early in the story, Halo 5, the Guardians, Master Chief and Blue Team actually go AWOL. And they go rogue. Yes, they leave the UNSC, which prompts Fireteam Osiris, which is a new team of Spartans led by Spartan Locke to go after them on a manhunt. So the story really is about that manhunt, following Blue Team and Master Chief across the galaxy for some mysterious reason they don't know. And so the story unfolds from there. I don't want to give away too much, but it's really about that manhunt and what's driving Blue Team. The story spans 3 different planets, so we go from planet to planet throughout the game. We don't just stay in one location, which is a cool, exciting part of the campaign this time. We go to a human planet, a Covenant planet, and also a Forerunner planet. Pretty exciting to go kind of span the galaxy. But the clue, the thing that kind of sparks him to go rogue, I don't want to give away yet, so still some mystery there.
Fireteam Osiris. Over the last 72 hours, 5 colonies have experienced identical events.
But let's talk about Chief's team, though, the Blue Team, because they're all related, right? They're all brothers and sisters?
Yep, Blue Team, Fred, Kelly, Linda, they actually were all with John, with Master Chief, all created together as part of the Spartan 2 program. They all kind of surrogate brothers and sisters that grew up together, and then they're the last remaining Spartan 2s. And so this is the first time they've been reunited in actual game. So you can play as them, because we have co-op campaigns, so you can play through campaign. You're switching between Fireteam Osiris with Locke, Vale, Tanaka, and Buck. Nathan Fillion plays Buck, and so you switch between those 2 teams. But yeah, playing as Blue Team for the first time, Linda with her sniper rifle, super awesome. So we're all excited as fans ourselves to be able to play finally as Blue Team.
Buck, you buying the first drink when we're done?
You ask, you buy.
Nathan Fillion, my God, he has experience in space.
Yes.
So it's nice to have him there too. Let's talk about the individual players that we can play as when we jump in for co-op. So I know you said the sniper is there, but what about the other players? Do we have different abilities with them as well?
So Kelly, she's close quarters and she's speed. She comes in with her shotgun, kind of traditional. Fred comes in, he's sort of an explosive expert, so he has some extra stuff there. They have their own armor mods. They all have their own loadouts. And then on the flip side, on Fireteam Osiris, Vale is a linguistics expert with the Sanheli, or the elite species. So she's added into the squad because they actually travel to that planet. Tanaka actually has a history with the Covenant War. Her planet was glassed by the Covenant, so she kind of has a personal connection there. And then Buck is an ex-ODST specialist, right? So he's actually been elevated from ODST with Nathan Fillion to the Spartan program. And then Locke is an acquisition specialist, ex-ONI agent, or Office of Naval Intelligence.
Let's talk about the co-op here, because you can just drop in and pull out whenever, right? You can do that for the entire campaign.
Yeah, co-op is a big focus for us. So part of that is ease of co-op. So we have, when you're playing a co-op campaign, it's running on dedicated servers. So seamless drop in, drop out. So if you're playing by yourself, you can have your friend come in, take over that AI character, and then if they gotta leave for whatever reason, go to dinner, whatever, they can leave, and then AI will come in seamlessly and take over for them. So it's back and forth.
What about multiplayer? Because you guys obviously have catered to esports as well. So you're doing 4-on-4, 4v4, but you also have a massive amount of players that can play. I know you have a whole setup here for 24 players. What is this about?
Warzone. Warzone's our new massive multiplayer mode. 24 players, 12v12. We actually have the Halo AI is actually in the match themselves, which is the first time ever. So the maps are like 4 times bigger than any Halo maps we've had before. Vehicles, all the power weapons, power-ups, etc. And then these legendary bosses are throughout the maps. And so the first one to 1,000 wins, or if you blow up the enemy core, you'll win. So it's kind of all the best of the Halo sandbox, all put into one mode. So we're super excited.
Oh my God, I can't wait to play that game. Halo 5 Guardians comes out October 27th. We might get it a little sooner because we got to review it. Sorry.
Good, I know, just rub it in. Let's rub it in. Listen, though, some people out there might be seeing this movie, Sicario, before we do, because we are in London, my friend, not to rub that in at all. I know, poor us. We're going to have a behind-the-scenes look at Sicario after the break.
No. Compas. Suelta la pistola. Hi, I'm Pablo Hidalgo, creative executive at Lucasfilm, part of the Lucasfilm Story Group. And I gotta say, my favorite Star Wars moment is pretty much anything revolving around R2-D2, but particularly when he saves the day in the films. I love the moment when he opens the locked door to the Millennium Falcon at the end when they're all trying to leave Cloud City. The music hits, R2's a hero.
I never doubted you for a second.
Wonderful! I absolutely love that. And when I was a kid, You know, there's a lot about Star Wars that went over my head, but I just understood that R2 was there. He's your buddy to have in your corner, and he's the best toy and the friend to have in the galaxy. So coming to Celebration and seeing people share that love of that character and the amazing work done by R2 builders around the world to create functional R2 units is absolutely great. And the fact that we got to unveil BB-8, the new astromech droid in The Force Awakens, that is an actual self-contained moving robot that came on stage and stole the show. I mean, that totally speaks to me. So that is totally a highlight of Celebration for me.
Love hearing Star Wars memories from people that are deep inside the Lucas world like that. Thank you, Pablo.
This is now time for something that I'm really excited for. We're going to a behind-the-scenes story on Sicario, which is the latest from Canadian master filmmaker Denis Villeneuve.
Get your service weapon out. Gun left.
The depiction of this CIA black op crossing the border and going into the chaos of Juarez and then this part of the world was very powerful, very meaningful. This story is saying a lot of things about our world today.
Wait. Get out of the car.
The movie takes place over 3 days. And so in 3 days, her whole world is turned upside down. The great conflict about the character and the great conflict which is fun to play is that there's a sort of temptation with this world, with the CIA and how they do things. And she realizes that she's not even scratching the surface doing what she's doing things by the book. And so I think there is the constant pull and the magnet towards that world where she sees the benefit of what they do in some ways. She sees how quickly they get things done.
No. Compas. Suelta la pistola.
It's a movie about choices, you know, and Emily Blunt's character is like the emotional through line of the movie and the experience that she has through the events in the movie. She's not really sure if we're doing the right thing.
You saw things you shouldn't have seen.
I think really what's fun is the familiarity between Alejandro and Matt. They're total opposites. They're in the same business. They're helping each other out. Alejandro's totally laconic. I can't stop talking, which makes perfect sense. And, it's that kind of opposition that makes it fun.
What the?
Going into the experience of being in Iraq, and he really knows what's right and what's wrong and how to go about things, and you can do certain things a certain way. There's no kind of, and what those guys kind of do, they just go, we're gonna do this, we're doing that, we don't actually care. And I think Reggie believes in everyone's an individual. There's ways of going about things that you can handle things better, and you can get exactly the same results with less casualties.
Looking at this through Kate's eyes, you're constantly, I hope, as an audience member, pulled in different directions as to which way is the right way.
But in the end, you will understand.
Sicario is out now in limited release. It will go wide, though, next week.
Can't wait to see that movie. Stick around. We've got a review of Everybody's Gone to the Rapture right after this. EP's mobile coverage is brought to you by Gameloft, makers of Asphalt 8 Airborne, which you can play on your Android or iOS device for free right now.
My hometown boys from Noodle Cake have got another one for us in the App Store. It is called Mucho Taco. Yes, everybody loves tacos, so I had to dive right into this one. It's another freemium title, so with freemium comes that freemium money-grabbing game. There's not a lot of that here. I didn't feel the pull. What we're doing here, though, is jumping in, and you see a giant sun, but turns out it's not a sun. It is a giant taco, and you just swipe the screen. You gotta keep swiping to unlock more coins, and those coins buy different recipes for more tacos. The more tacos you make, the better chance of more money you get. You open little taco shops as well in your town, taco trucks. If you get more money, you open different taco stands. It's all about tacos here, a lot of love for tacos. People on the street, it actually reminded me a lot of those world-building games that you see in the App Store now, the freemium titles. This is the first thing that I'm seeing like this from Noodle Cake, so I was a little surprised to play it, actually. I wasn't sure what to think of it when I first dove in. It does grow on you, though. It's one of those really addictive games, those games that I love to play for a long time. It's like a drug. It holds on to you, but then once you let it go, it is gone forever, and that's exactly what this game is. It's fine. Just download it for free. You'll get sick of it after a month, but play while you can and make those tacos. Mucho Taco is getting a 7 out of 10.
Your pocket may be very hungry. There's a sentence you don't really want to hear.
And
right?
I never want to hear again.
Right,
Victor
sorry
Lucas.
about that.
Let us go now to San Francisco because Jose and Ben are here with a review of Everybody's Gone to the Rapture.
Ben and I have taken some time away from lovely Shropshire, England to talk about Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Ben, what did you think of this very unique title?
Very unique is right, Jose. This is made by a company called The Chinese Room, and they have made some other very unique games like Dear Esther. They made A Machine for Pigs, which was a really creepy game. And this is also, at first, kind of a creepy game. You're not really sure what's going on. You're tossed into this world. It's a very lovely little town in England.
Shropshire.
And Shropshire. But unlike most towns in England, there's nobody there.
Yeah. No one.
No one's around.
This is the Her Story of console games.
It kind of is. This is definitely a puzzle. You start to figure out that what your job is, if there is a job here, is to explore this town and the surrounding area and find out why nobody's here. Did they, in fact, go to the rapture? Are they up in heaven? Did they all die? Did they get a sickness? Who knows what happened? You have to figure that out by wandering around and wandering around.
Yeah,
you just wander.
That's what I'm saying. It's funny you said that it's a puzzle game because you're not really solving puzzles. It's more or less go and try to find images of previous life forms that were maybe in this town and trying to put together of what time those things were at this town.
Well, apparently they're saying it's a flu epidemic.
Because it seems like a lot of them weren't necessarily right when the rapture was happening. It's like you're building up on story within characters, and it has like chapters, I guess you could call them, with, oh, here's a character's name. And then you're going to learn a little bit more about that character. But it's all non-linear, so you're not really sure exactly what's happening with where you're supposed to be going at what time, whose story you're following, if you're even following a story. It's just sort of this weird cluster fudge of information that you're picking up on.
That's my favorite Ben & Jerry's flavor. You like cluster fudge? The thing about it is that it's you're right. It's really hard to figure out how this story is being told to you because it's being told differently depending upon how you play it and where you go. Now, they kind of lead you around the area vaguely.
Follow the bouncing ball.
Yeah,
follow the bouncing ball.
They actually have a little ball of light, and that ball of light actually plays into the story in a big way. And you follow it around, and it'll kind of guide you generally to areas where you'll get some more of these images of past events, and you see these kind of people, but they're not really people. They're just sort of lights. They're kind of shaped like people, but you hear their voices clear as day as the people that they were before they vanished.
It becomes nighttime. You look up. I mean, the sky is a beautiful thing.
The whole game is a beautiful thing.
The game, yeah.
I mean, it's a gorgeous world they created. I mean, it's really detailed, and it feels really like it's been lived in by these people.
It feels like the opening of a BioShock game, which is funny because it's Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Mm-hmm. It feels like the beginning of a BioShock title where you're going to explore things, and all of a sudden you're waiting for things to just hit the fan, and then you're going to just dive into the action. That never really happens at all.
Well, there's no action. I think there's a lot to like in Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. The world itself is beautiful. The storytelling is interesting. The voice work is great. But it just feels so pretentious. I mean, this is an indie game that is not, kind of giving the player much at all. It feels like it's just sort of saying, here's an interesting artsy vibe, just be a part of it and let it affect you. And I understand that, but I feel like slowing everything down, making you plod through it, and forcing you to sort of interact with it in such a painstaking way is just kind of cruel.
Once you get going into the story, I did find myself a little bit invested in trying to figure out exactly what the hell happened, trying to piece everything together. I just wish that there was a little bit more in the game.
Yeah, it does get kind of snoozy, for sure. I mean, there were times playing it, I would be playing this game kind of late at night, where I would kind of nod off. I mean, I'd kind of like be distracted and be like, these guys have been talking for a minute or two, and I don't really know what they're saying.
Like cutscene. Just sleepy.
Like,
just
what? Who's that? Did someone have sex? Is anyone dead? Why there's a tissue everywhere? What's going on?
You know why there's tissue everywhere.
Well,
because of the pot.
Because of the cluster fudge. You gotta wipe it off your mouth every once in a while.
Well, I mean, yeah. So cluster fudge-tastic, slow story. Ben, what is Everybody's Gone to the Rapture worth to you?
I think this is the kind of game that some people are gonna love, other people are gonna hate. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
Right there with you, my friend. 7 out of 10 from me.
Thank you, Ben and Jose. I am dying to get home and get my hands on that thing, but it's okay being out here in London, right?
Yeah, I think we're doing fine. Listen, don't go anywhere, because after the break, we've got your Twitter question of the day.
If you want more EP, go to our website, epn.tv, for bonus content and full episodes. We're also on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to EP Daily in jolly old London.
Are you sure we're in London, England?
I think
Are
that
you
is
positive?
Big Ben. I'm pretty sure that is.
Can
Either
we see
way.
any indicators that say that we are in?
No,
Okay.
nothing at all. Nothing at all. It's not time for the best part of today's show. The Twitter question of the day. This one comes from Stephen Nicolak. Hey there, buddy.
Hola.
Do you get the feeling massive open world games would be better with less stuff and a more compact, focused design instead?
Well, they might be better for a shorter period of time, but I think what makes open world so great is that you can just keep exploring forever and have a really cool time with the widgets.
That's the whole point of the game. Honestly, if you're going to take out some of that stuff for a more compact game, I feel like it's just a completely different game altogether. It's a completely different style.
It does separate the ability to create narrative that can really emotionally impact you. I think that it's hard for these games to really live up to that potential, and only a few of them get it right. It's challenging all the way around, but when it does work, like a Grand Theft 5 or a Red Dead Redemption or a Batman Arkham Knight.
Oh, it is so good.
It's amazing, right?
The greatest thing in the world. You forgot Skyrim.
And Skyrim, yeah. Great question. If you've got one for us, you want to get caught up in the show, go to epn.tv.
We've got work coming for you in the next episode of EP Daily, including a visit to the set of Lost Girl.
See you next time.
Bye.
EP would like to thank its sponsors, Nintendo, Xbox.
Z, as the audiences know at this point, is one of several very evil characters that are introduced this season. And Bo and her are having a showdown over a gift that was sent to Bo from her father.
That's why you really sent the oracles after me. You were after my boss, and I'm not leaving without it.